What's going on, my fellow peeps and peepettes, and welcome back to the Spotlight Reviewing Station. And today we're going to be taking a look at the brand new Power Rangers Dino Charge Red Ranger, apart from the Power Rangers Lightning Collection. So let's not waste any time. Let's go ahead and take a look at this action figure's packaging as partake of every single video review on this channel. Up close in your face. Anyway, let's get to the packaging again. Here we go with the figure inside. We got Power Rangers Lightning Collection, Dino Charge Red Ranger, Dino Charge Red Ranger, warning, choking hazard, ages 4 and plus. Nothing on the top, nothing really too specific at the bottom. Here's a look at the side of the packaging with the rest of that very lovely artwork of the Dino Charge Red Ranger with Power Rangers Dino Charge right there. On this side of the packaging, we've got that lovely artwork again. And on the back of the packaging, we've got the computerized render form of the prototype figure himself. And then down below all that, we've got licensing, distribution, made in China, and Hasbro's logo right there. So that's going to do it for the packaging. Let's go ahead and remove this out of the way so we can take a look at the real figure. And so to kick things off, here we go with the Dino Charge Red Ranger action figure. Looks pretty nice. Very lovely detail. As you can tell, the theme is dinosaurs. Of course, why not? And the Red Ranger being the T-Rex, also sweet. And take a good look at the head sculpt here. The helmet looks pretty good. There's a little bit of some sloppy paint work here with the teeth, but for the most part, I think I made out pretty well. As you can see, the green eyes are painted very nicely from the right side to the left side. And if there's one thing to really be worried about when it comes to the paint job on the helmet, it's actually the mouth plate. Sometimes this could actually be very sloppy. And here's a good look at the shoulder plate here. And as you can see, we got the lovely spikes, and this is a very hard plastic as well. But I think the best part about this is it doesn't limit the articulation. I like the way that actually works there. There's a good look at the chest piece, and yes, we do have a little scuffing, but that's to be expected. I'm not kidding. I think every single one of these that I've seen in the store so far has this issue. And there's the iconic T-Rex symbol. Taking a look at the best part about the figure, and that is the separate buckle here. And as you can see, we do have a lot of sculpted detail here. Unfortunately, it's not painted except for the yellow here and the black, and that's pretty much it. But if there's one thing I do love about this buckle, it's the fact that they did actually sculpt in the dinosaur, which is kind of hard to see, especially for something so small in detail. Come on, pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. There we go. You can see the teeth, you can see the eyes. It's very nice work. Oh great, now we're out of complete focus. Let's take a look at the forearms on the figure. Actually, let's just take a look at the entire arms. As you can see, we got the scale work here, which looks pretty nice. But if I'm going to be honest, I think the prototype figure looks a lot better when it comes to that detail. I mean, this just stands out a lot more, but this looks, yeah, just a little too dark. Anyway, here's a good look at the cuffs for the gloves. There's a good look at the gloves themselves with the nice detail pattern here for the spikes. Lovely. Going to the lower section of the figure, here's a good look at the leg. And you can see the cuffs around the boots are pretty nicely painted. Doesn't seem to be sloppy like some other figures I've seen. And he even took the liberty of actually putting a little time and effort into painting the soles of his shoes black. I was not expecting that. And for those who are wondering, here's a good look at the back, and as you can see, it's pretty clean. Minus that tiny little scuff there, but again, that's to be expected. So moving right into articulation, and the Red Ranger does have a ball joint at the head, though it's kind of limited for inquisitive posing. However, does have a hinge joint at the neck, so you can get a lot of range that way. Careful how you move about this joint here, but yes, he does have hinges to allow some up and down movement, as you can see. And if you want to, you can pull a complete 360 rotation, as you can see, without any hindrance caused by this piece. And then the figure has a bicep swivel joint, double jointed elbows, wrist swivel cut, with a hinge joint to allow inward and outward movement. The figure is ball jointed at the upper torso, so you can get a lot of flex. No swivel cut at the waist, but you do have a lovely ab crunch section, so you can get this much movement forward on one click, and this much going back on two. The legs are ball jointed, so you can get this much kicking forward with the hips, nothing going back. And this is about as much as you can get for the split, so no JCVD posing here. The thigh swivel cut at the hips. Figure sports double jointed knees, that does get way more than 9 degrees of bend. A swivel cut at the top of the boot section. Hinge joint at the ankle, so you can get this much rocking up and down, as you can hear on the very lovely click. And then, of course, you got your very lovely ankle rocker pivot. Why not? So Dino Charge Red Ranger is actually packing a lot of posability, but let's talk about accessories count, starting off with some interchangeable hands. Why not? So the figure has one additional left hand and right hand, with the right hand being the ball fist and this one being open palm, like in a calm position, which my camera refuses to focus on. There you go. Hopefully that helps out. And removing the hand is just simply pull it out like so, and replacing it with this one. that you want to use. Though I will say that the quality on this is a bit loose. Maybe that's something Hasbro needs to be forewarned about. Regardless though, I like my figures actually being posed with hands that they can actually hold weapons with. Next up, we've got the actual Dino Morpher. Yes, this was the Dino Morpher in the show. This is how you unleash the power. And it's got some very lovely detail, which is actually on par with the SH figure arts. Most of the paintwork is just all this glossy black that you would see with the lines and the top here and this lower section here. But on this side, it's actually missing the black striping. The Red Ranger does sport a very lovely open trigger finger here, where you can put the blaster in his hand and it looks like it's convincing that he's actually holding it. Next accessory the figure comes with is his very lovely sword here, which looks pretty cool. Once again, we got that very lovely silver paint job and with the black for the handle piece. This pretty much represents the entire color of the weapon. I mean, it really wasn't the most lovely detail that you would actually see from any of the weapons used in the show. The only sad part about these accessories is, unlike the show, they do not combine. Womp womp womp. So if you wanted to, you can actually put the sword in the right hand, but since it's occupied at the moment with the Dino Blaster, let's just go ahead and put it on the left hand, which can be done. Even though the figure is actually only gripping it by these two fingers down here. And if that's not enough flavor, here you go, this ought to help. We have an effect piece. So the effect piece can actually be slid in like so, creating a very lovely lightning effect, hence the lightning collection. Last accessory the figure comes with is the iconic interchangeable headpieces, which makes the lightning collection. And as you can see, it definitely looks like the actor who played Tyler in Power Rangers Dino Charge. This is probably one of the most cleanest face printing works that Hasbro has actually pulled off in this line so far. So switching out the head is as simple as 1, a 2, and a 3. And I'm not going to joke about this. This is actually super tight, so you might want to be careful when you go about moving the head. So it's a nice option when you want to display your figures without their helmets on. That's pretty awesome. Alright guys, I only thought about bringing one comparison with me, and that is nonetheless our previously reviewed Power Ranger figure from the Lightning Collection, and that is the Mighty Morphin White Ranger. And I decided to sneak in at the last minute a NECA Xenomorph. 2 for 2 so far is the Lightning Collection. I love this line. The only issue is a little bit of some quality issue. That's the problem that I got with this line so far out of the two figures that I originally opened, which their arms snapped off very quickly. If Hasbro can actually work with the hinges at the shoulders, probably loosen them up a bit, this line would be perfect. Yeah, there could be a little bit more. I mean, I would have loved if the Dino Charge Red Ranger actually came with his real weapon that does combine with all the other weapons from the Dino Charge Rangers to create a giant sword. Would have been nice. But maybe they could do weapon packs in the future. But outside of that, I mean, we get another very lovely power effect. We get two weapons that the Ranger is commonly using in the show anyway. His blaster slash morpher and his sword. Not much to really complain about there. And I love the head sculpt. I gotta say, pick them up if you haven't already. Especially Dino Charge Red Ranger. Anyway, that's gonna do it for this video review. I'm giving this figure 2 thumbs up. Speaking of 2 thumbs up, if you haven't already, don't forget to leave any questions or comments you may have down below in the comment section of the video. If you liked today's video review, hit the thumbs up button. Don't forget to give me a sub up. If you didn't like it, hit the thumbs down. Don't forget to throw in the towel. It's a-okay. And until next time, my friends, this is the unprofessional toy reviewer Redis Power signing off by saying when the opportunity persists, don't give up on your dreams, seize the moment, and thank you for watching.